Hannah, what's up? Alright, so let's go through this. Alright, so first I want you to just check out your back angle here, okay? I'm going to slow this down. Just want you to notice how upright your back is. And then how it kind of sweeps forward, okay? So you can actually see kind of how that bar path's kind of making a U there, alright? So it actually kind of is a little bit better on this next one, but we still kind of shift forward a little bit. You see how your hips rise a little bit before your shoulders, all right? So what we want is the same angle on the way down as the way up. Right, so that rep actually, so check out that back angle. Just a tiny shift, but it's very, very similar to what it looks like on the way down, okay? So what we need to do is we need to sit back in the hips a little bit more. And actually, I think the last 3 reps were your best reps in this set, okay? And I'm purely going off of back angle, staying back in your hips, and minimizing the shift forward, okay? So what we're gonna do with these, we're not gonna really progress the weight too much. I think this is a heavy enough weight, and we're gonna just really focus on hammering that form, staying back in your hips, all right? And then we had talked about, you know, doing a high bar with a wide stance. I definitely want to incorporate that too as well, because you're very acclimated to the high bar stance. And with the wider stance, that's going to allow us to build the hips a little bit better. So sit back in your hips more, keep the weight balanced over the middle of the foot, okay? All right, and bench press here, okay? So you do a good job bracing, get the feet tight. Bar path looks pretty good on that first rep. All right. You can even see that you're really, really forcing those elbows in. All right, and you're fighting that elbow flare actually, so as you press up, your elbows just want to flare, but you keep sticking in there, okay? Keeping those shoulders down and back, all right? And I'd rather see it a little slower on the descent than faster if, you know, bar path kind of gets all over the place. We talked about that last time we were in, and the bar path was a little all over the place when we went a little faster. So nice and slow on the descent. As time goes on, we'll increase the speed of that, okay? All right, so for these RDLs, we're really gonna focus on keeping those lats tight, all right? If you notice the RDL, that top portion, we're really just training the deadlift, the top portion of the deadlift, which at the bottom, the shoulder's gonna be much further over the bar than we typically would do it, which is gonna require our lats to get engaged a little bit more, okay? So I want you to see what kind of happens on that lat right there, how it kind of drifts away a little bit. So we wanna keep that bar right up against the body. And honestly, I think that was the only rep I saw any issue with. So let's just make sure we're standing tall at the top, okay? Notice how you're kind of vertical. I want the shoulders a little further behind the bar. And let's really practice that lockout position. Aside from that, these look really, really good. All right, so the pull-up, pretend like it's the reverse of an overhead press, okay? So when we're at the bottom, we want to really just kind of get the whole torso through, get the arms straight. Notice this position right here, and notice how there's kind of an arc in the upper back, okay? So we want to let the shoulders come all the way down, kind of like the active shrug in the overhead press, okay? So I got some ideas for this, particularly some dead hang pull-ups, which is gonna require you to start in the dead position, all right? And then also too, for the notes, I'll just kind of show you how I'd like them updated. Let's see here. So make sure that you write down, I think we did 135 for 3 sets of 5, and then we did 95 for 2 sets of 3, I believe. 2 sets of 5. So make sure that you write down specifically what you did. Like for the bench, I think we did 95 by, I think we did 3 sets of 3, and then we did 85 by 3 by 2. All right. And then for the RDLs, I think we did 65 by 10, 85 by 10, and 105 by 10. All right. And then pull-ups, I think we did 3 by 5. So even though I write it in, just kind of double write that in exactly what you did. All right, kiddo, have a great weekend and kick some butt, and I'll see you next week.